Hello, my name is Alex Josh, and I'm a product manager here for VMware Cloud on AWS. Today we're going to be talking about the auto remediation feature and how we implemented it in VMware Cloud on AWS. So in this case, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go into the backside of the system and I'm going to forcibly shut down a host. Now this is not something you can do as an end user, but it's something that we can do on the backside. The reason why I'm going to do this is to simulate a failure. So this is not something that would normally happen, but we want to see what would happen if a host just failed. So this is as if we had a PSOD or other similar host failure. Now as you can see in the UI, nothing really happens. And if you're logged on as a administrator, you would see this view and everything looks fine. I can refresh the view, everything looks fine. However, what's happening in the background is the host is actually shutting down. And note the time here, which is 5:15 p.m. That's critical. That'll be critical later. We can see when we go into the monitor, though, is that alarms are firing. The host is not responding, and so the VC is starting to become concerned. In a few seconds, VC will figure out that the host is really dead, and you'll start to see alarms firing up all over the place. And so, for example, here we see that we have a connectivity alarm. So you'll continue to see this, and the status of the cluster will get worse and worse as VC figures out this thing's really dead. What we did is we wrote a custom attribute called Remediate Progress, and we set that property to true when we're taking an auto remediation action. That way, if you have your own monitoring system, you can watch for that tag and you can tell if we're actually doing something on the back end. Otherwise, you really have no idea if our automation is working or not. The other thing is if you look at the events, you'll see events related to VMC, including logins for our automation subsystem and things like that. So you have full visibility about what we're doing. But specifically, we'll see a VMC event here. And you'll see here the second one there, started provisioning an ESX instance. And note the time there, right? 5:15:47. So it's 47 seconds after I initiated the shutdown, we took an action. And we said, you know what, we better, just in case, we better provision a new host because it looks like one of the hosts has failed. Now that provisioning action takes a couple of minutes. You don't see it right away, but the action is taken immediately. Now I fast forwarded the video a little bit here. Now you can see that sure enough, there's a new host that's been added to the cluster. This will take about 10 minutes end to end for the new host provision to happen. Now, no humans were involved. This is completely automated, right? All this action was taken on your behalf. You may or may not even notice that this has occurred, except that you'll see VMs restart. Now, HA will do its normal thing, and HA is now restarting all the VMs that were running on the failed host. But in addition to that, we're also adding capacity so that you have enough capacity to run all your VMs. Now, I fast forward a little bit, and you'll notice that the cluster has returned back to normal. And the reason for this is because it turns out the host was actually fine, and so when we attempted to restart it, it just came back. So in the end, the system is back up and running as normal as expected. So thank you very much for your time today, and I hope you enjoyed the demonstration.